There's a lot of pressure that we are all under. And as someone who spent 22 plus years in the military, someone who understand and have lived in high stress, high impact environments, I know the challenges because I've lived it that founders are currently experiencing right now, and especially women founders. Okay. So today we are going to be really focusing on building under pressure. That means building a business, sustaining the business, and everything else that comes into that. So, welcome to the Executive Innovation Show. I'm your host, Chevy. And if you're new here, welcome as your federal execution partner, business development consultant, facilitator, and author. I help established founders like yourself to pursue SIBR, which stands for the Small Business Innovation Research Grant Opportunities, which is all focused on innovations, and also help you to identify and pursue federal innovation opportunities. And the way that I do that is helping you to really identify aligned opportunities and also submitting quality phase one proposals and also helping you to connect with strategic partners to help you get to that next level and also to strengthen your opportunity without you sacrificing more time and your capacity. Because I know as a founder, you are crazy busy already. So come on into the Executive Innovation Show, and we're talking about building under pressure. And as you're joining live, I want you to share in the chat how that is showing up for you as well, because I want it to be of a conversation. Come on in. If you're new here, say hello. Drop a 1 in the chat. If you're new, welcome, Samantha. Thank you for joining from New Jersey. Okay, thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I always love to ask you all to drop in the chat what you do, who you do it for, and where you're joining from. So thank you for that. And I want to talk about this topic about building under pressure, especially for women founders, women leaders, because we are dealing with multiple things. And we're just going to hit three key components today. And the reason I'm talking about this topic is because building a business from the ground up, that is the first point that we're going to talk about. And I'm going to share my own lived experience, and you can share your own experience in the chat, and I'll share it here as well too. We know there's a lot going on in the world, just in general. People being laid off, funds not being available for innovation, then it's coming back. And also, we know that there's $4 billion available for innovation funds, and there's a lot more for other opportunities out there. But when you're building a business in the beginning, it's a lot of pressure. It's pressure, but then the pressure increases as you continue to grow. And we start with a passion, we start with a purpose, we start with an idea, and then that evolves into something bigger. But also we look at the pressure of not only building a business, because getting an EIN that's simple, registering your business that's simple, it's doing the work aspect. And not only doing the work in the business, but also looking at the life that you have to sustain. And that comes with, especially, I'm going to really be speaking to women, because as a male founder, yes, you all have pressure, but it's not, I believe it is not the same as the pressure that we have as women who are looking to build something beyond, for legacy, building something for impact, and still also maintaining, whether you're a wife, you have a partner, whether you have kids as well, which is a big factor, because for someone who is a single parent building multiple things, multiple businesses, it is challenging. But how do you continue to move forward? One, you look at what opportunities can I step into as I'm building from scratch? Okay, we're talking about the beginning stage, building the business from the beginning. And as you're building, what opportunities, and what I will say, a lot of times in the beginning, we don't have the clarity, because I know I did not have the clarity. I was just jumping into things here and there. And maybe you're currently like that as a founder, as a woman founder. You're just looking for any opportunities, which can be beneficial. And yes, Samantha, it is challenging, especially for women. So thank you for sharing that. But, so like I was saying, maybe you're dapping into all these things, but I want to remind you from, even from I've learned and more likely, I don't know if you can relate to this, Samantha, in the beginning, as we're building, there's pressure, but also there's pressure because we're trying to tap into all the things. We're looking to, show up for all of the events locally, virtually, out of state, as well too. But instead of looking at the right opportunities, as well, so we have to look at, if we're building, what are the right opportunities? And sometimes we don't have that clarity to figure out, okay, what are the right opportunities? And that's when you bring in someone, a consultant or someone else, whether it's me or someone else to help and support you. Okay. So whether you're building a business, you're building up the courage to finally, apply for your first, silver opportunity. Guess what? You want to also identify the right opportunities as well too, because there's pressure, because there's a lot of opportunities, whether it's Department of War, whether it's Department of Transportation, USDA Agriculture, whether it's Department of Commerce, DHS, like there's NHS, there's a lot of opportunities available for innovation funding. Okay. And there's pressure in making sure, like, am I going to pick the right opportunity? Is it going to be in alignment? And what are the responsibilities that comes along with that as well too? So that is pressure upon you in building that business, building up the courage to step into that phase one as well. And Samantha said, is a support from, yes, having the support of people who can support you, whether it's, on the parenting side, the friendship side, the business side, the consultant side. It all depends on the person and where they're at. But we're talking about building under pressure. And when we're talking about building under pressure, it is a lot on the individual. It is a lot on the team that you all are dealing with currently right now. But as you're building, as you're moving forward into your phase one, or looking to pursue that phase one, I want you to really think about what are the right opportunities, especially as a woman founder. Truly, what are the right opportunities that are in alignment with you right now? Also, what is the agency mission? Understanding what is the agency mission and does it align with what you are looking to build to submit that first phase one topic? And what relationships do you have that are already like being nurtured? Because when you're building under pressure and having the right support, like Samantha said, like, it's a support for me, meaning for her. And for me as well too, is really looking at what support do I have to pursue this opportunity? What support do I have in my life to allow me to show up and deliver for my clients? What support do I have to show up? Because all of that pressure, if I don't have the support, what happens to me? It becomes overwhelming, burnout, which I've been there, done that, not trying to do that again. Okay. Because I was hospitalized from that, because pressure will do that for you. When you are building something and you're building it under pressure, it will put you in a place where you may not want to go. So again, really looking at opportunities, understanding the mission, but also building the right relationships. Okay. And, another thing that pressure comes with when we're building under pressure is really looking at the proposal process. And if you have never submitted a phase one proposal, there's a lot of component pieces that you have to abide by. Okay. You have to make sure that you implement and that you're able to execute. And this comes with pressure. And the reason it comes with pressure, because you're building something, you already have your business. Okay. Or maybe you're building your business right now. So you have that piece of it. You have this level of pressure, but now you have this other level of pressure of submitting your first phase one proposal, which depends, it depends on the agency. It can be something as, a few pages, and then something that is like 50 pages, or maybe 100 pages, plus all these different components. So that's a pressure in itself. Okay. Making sure when it comes to the technical volume, you have that laid out. Are you following the clear directions that they provide? And sometimes the direction is not fully clear. Okay. If you work in the government, you understand everything is not black and white. Also looking at your budget, like really looking at, not only at what you're supporting in the sense of your current business, but also how will you utilize the funds if you are awarded when it comes to your direct costs and indirect costs. And those things matter, and making sure that you are able to quote the correct estimated prices, hourly rates for whoever you're going to bring on to help you with this project. Because again, they want to see on paper, who do you have on your team that's going to help you to deliver this project within the 6-month time frame or the 12-month time frame if you are awarded. And that is pressure because you have to make sure those numbers make sense. And then you're still leading your team. You're still serving your clients. And if you have a family, you are under a lot of stress, mental stress, physical stress, emotional stress, decision fatigue. So there's a lot going on with you. And as a woman, I know there's a lot that you are dealing with, experiencing, and still showing up to lead. So there's a lot of pressure on that. So Samantha said, people wanting to change my vision. This happens often with me because I work with women in male-dominant industries. Yes, people wanting to change my vision. Yes, you have to look at what the pressure of that. It's like, why do you want me to change my vision when I'm telling you, here's my vision, here's what I see for myself. And there's nothing wrong with getting some insight, but also at the end of the day, as the founder, as the decision maker, you have the final say on this is the vision, this is where I'm trying to go. And all of that is pressure as well too, because building a business, the pressure comes. It's about how you handle the pressure, how you handle the opportunity that comes towards you from beginning, the middle, and sustaining that as well too. So as I was saying, so thank you for sharing that, Samantha. So when it comes to building the proposal, there's pressure in that, the volume, the budget, the direct and indirect costs, letter of support. Yes, like reaching out to potential partners to say, hey, can I get a letter of support? Because that's pressure, because you got to put yourself out there to ask that person. And hopefully you have that relationship already being built to say, and sometimes people may not get back. I had one client where we reached out and we sent letter of support, and guess what? People never responded. So you have to look at if now the time is still ticking, because those letter of support makes a difference because they want to see that you have support in this venture that you're about to step into. And especially if that's a business that's well known, been in the market for a while, that's also adding to your credibility. So there's pressure in building your proposal as well. Also, compliance requirements, that is pressure because packages are kicked out because it was not in compliant, which again, time, resource, because you're under pressure because you have a timeline as well too. And also the commercialization, making sure that you have the right data to make sure that what you're putting in that proposal makes sense. All of that is the pressure that you will experience on top of all the other things that you are building and supporting in your life, in your business as a founder. Okay. Samantha said, you have to know your vision, because if not, you feel the pressure because people are going to ask, what is the vision? What is the outcome? I was having a conversation with someone who's well-known, well-connected, that I connected, here on LinkedIn, and they were asking me questions about my leadership stuff. And he's like, yes, Chevy, like you have to, we are going into these organizations. What is the ROI? What is the vision? What is the mission? What is the values? All these different things. And it also let me know, like, okay, there's some pressure that I need to make sure that I add some clarity to make sure that I can articulate X, Y, and Z about what I'm building over here. So there's pressure everywhere, but it's up to you to realize, like, okay, do I continue to lean into this pressure on my own, or do I get the support that I need to still build without burning myself out, in a nutshell? Yes. So definitely there's pressure as you're building your business, as you're submitting that first SBIR phase 1 proposal, which I challenge you to do, because there's opportunities. Like, if you trust yourself and bring in the right support, know that you can get that done. And the last pressure point that I want to talk about is the pressure of sustaining the business. This is where you're looking at, do I have the capital to sustain this? And that is a financial pressure that so many founders are currently dealing with, experiencing with as well too. And with that pressure, you have to look at, how can I continue to sustain my current business, but also still pursue SBIR opportunities? How can I sustain bringing in a consultant to help and support me to provide the resources, the experience, and the knowledge to provide and submit a quality SBIR phase 1 proposal? Also, how do you continue, business, the pressure of the leadership, the pressure of, hiring, the pressure of building the team to sustain so that you can step out of the business when you need to, the opportunity, the pressure to sustain and be present with your family because you are trying to create alignment where it's like you're showing up for your clients, you're showing up for the business, you're showing up for the team, but also you're still trying to make time for the people who matters, which is, the family. Also make a time for yourself as well too. So the pressure of sustaining the business and looking at the vision that you created, and is that vision going to be able to sustain because maybe you don't have the capital, or what resources do you need, what partnership do you need? So again, the pressure is going to be there. Okay. And Samantha said support has been key. Yes, support in every capacity you can think of, whether that's in the beginning stage, that's in the proposal stage, that's in the sustaining stage. You have to look at what support do you have right now, but also what support can you bring in to help you not continue to build on the pressure consistently. Because from my experience being in the military and working in readiness, working in, being in combat and all the things. And when I say high pressure environment, and we are like pounding the pavement, going hard, no sleep, okay, which is not good long term. But during that time, it was critical, it was essential, it was mission driven as well. But also because of that, those lived experience, plus managing life, plus managing a home, plus looking at other school, all the things impacted how I showed up, because it will impact how you show up in your business and your life as you're building and looking to sustain your business, as you're building and looking to get into phase one, to submit your first phase one proposal. So if you are that founder and you are at a place in your business where you know that there are constant pressure and you're feeling it, and you're at a place where you need support of someone who understand the landscape, who understand the process, who have done this, then I want you to reach out to me and just send me a message that says ready. And this is just for us to connect, and you can share what you have going on, and then we can go from there. But as you're building, I want you to be successful as a founder. I want you to have the right support to submit your first phase one, especially if you are a woman founder. Okay. I want you to step into this and say, you know what? Let me bring in the right support to help me, because compared to a male founder, you are doing a lot more outside of the business. Okay. I believe that because I've lived that. Okay. So reach out to me. And today was all about building under pressure. It's going to be there, but it is up to you to make sure that you bring the right support from the beginning, the right support to submit that phase one proposal that gets through the door, gets through that SIBR door, but also the right support to help you sustain what you are building as well too. And if you're looking for a BD consultant or your federal execution partner to help you start executing and taking off some of that load off of you, I want you to reach out to me. Just send me a quick DM. And I want to thank Samantha for being here. Thank you for joining me from New Jersey. And if you're watching this later on, #replay, and drop any questions that you may have in the chat, and also drop what you do, because I would love to know. And you never know who is reading the comments and will probably connect with you. But I want to thank you for joining me on the Executive Innovation Show. And as your host, I'm Chevy, the Federal Execution Partner, BD, facilitator, and author of my book, Leading Through Life, Career, and Business While Thriving in Every Season, Woman Breed. Love it, love it, love it. So get yourself a copy on my website, womanbreed.com. I want to plug that in there. But I'm here every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. Have an amazing day. And I'm here to help you as an established tech founder to submit and pursue SIBR and federal innovation opportunities through qualified proposal and core partnership collaboration, without you continuing to sacrifice your more time and your capacity, because I want to help see you make an impact based on the impact that you're looking to make without burning yourself out. Okay. Well, y'all have an amazing Wednesday as always, and I will see you all next Wednesday.